All right, golfers, so we're continuing our module talking about how we can now get your trail arm action to match your force action. So we're using a rotational force, and so you're our twisters, and we got to get a good grip to line up to match what you're doing. And so typically what we've seen is that when we go through these screening processes that I use, a person that applies a lot of rotational force typically can benefit from having a trail arm that sits more under the golf club. The reason being, you're firing your hips faster, so the face has a tendency to be open in comparison to somebody that doesn't use that kind of force as much. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you a great way to match up your right arm for a righty, okay, so your bottom hand, non-glove hand, to keep the face square as you apply this kind of force. And again, this is just a good starting point. Feel free to kind of put your own little flavor on it. But so for us, we're going to start with your paddle, your hand. You got all your fingers lined up. This was a position that's called just on the side. We're going to take it and go a little bit under, okay? Again, as we twist, this little bit of our right hand sitting a little more under the shaft will allow us to have a little bit more twist on the shaft and to keep the face square as we go to match the twist in our hips, okay? So now, instead of the club face, instead of our hand being side on, where the club face could be slightly open, or even worse, the right hand sitting too far on top and letting that face really get open, this will help us line up a better consistency as we come into impact. And so what we'll do is, there's a great drill that I love to use for players, and what we'll do is you take your right hand on the side of the club, but we're going to put it a little bit underneath, and you're going to make some golf swings working on the release of that golf club to match your force off the ground. And what we're trying to do is you want to throw the shaft at the ball with your right hand, so like your hand's coming to a stop just after the ball and your left hand continues on. We're not putting our right hand on and wrapping it around the grip. We're just keeping it like a paddle on the side, and this will help us get a good delivery and pressure into the shaft. So we're using our feet to create pressure in the ground and our hands to control the golf club. So we'll get set up. I like to start on the side, and then I'll work it underneath. And then from there, we'll keep pressure on the side of the shaft as we swing the golf club, and I'll try and release it right before I hit it. And so if we do this right, our right hand can let us deliver the golf club more squarely, really get a good, effective, crisp hit on the golf ball, and really start seeing that face stay square as we go throughout this process.